Okay, y'all, buckle up. This one is crazy. Okay, so it all started on New Year's Eve this year, when I, 38 men, was on vacation with our two daughters, 3 and 7, visiting my family over the Christmas and New Year break. We were having a good trip and everything was normal until on NYE Day, I called my wife, 34F, to check in and let the girls say hi. She was supposed to be off work by then since she opened, and that is when it all started falling apart. I could tell in the background noise that she was not at her store because it was dead quiet, and she was telling me that they were fixing something with a contractor. Mind you, she works retail, so of course on holidays they do not have scheduled maintenance because it's all sales-focused. So I could tell something was off, but I did not say anything and just let the girls talk to her and tell her about what we had been doing that day. She then told me she was planning on hanging out with some people from work in the parking lot until midnight. Mind you, this was probably around 3 p.m. and it was very cold outside. So that rubbed me wrong. Later that evening, maybe around 9 p.m., I figured we would call since we were in different time zones and say Happy New Year so I could get the girls to bed. I tried calling and it went straight to voicemail. Then I texted and the messages did not go through. So needless to say, I actually started to get a little worried, because if she truly was just outside, then I did not know what could have happened. I first thought about calling the police to have them just drive by and make sure they were okay. Probably drastic, I know, and I didn't end up doing that. But I did text her mom and sister because they all shared locations with each other on the iPhone. Her sister said she also couldn't get a hold of her and that her phone was in the next city over at a house. I started to worry more. And then remember that she had let my daughters take her iPad with us on the trip so they could watch the movies in the car. And I checked it where she had her messages synced up. That was where I'd found out that she had actually had a text thread with a guy she works with, 28 men, yes, younger guy, over the past few days, planning what they wanted to do for NYE and how they wanted to hang out. She was talking to him about doing things that she told me she hated, like going to watch the fireworks, or going to a bar where the women dress down, and she had all kinds of suggestions and excitement in her messages. By this point, her phone was still off. I had sent tons of messages and tried to get a hold of her, and just decided to delete them, and I found her location on her iPad. I then decided that after I had seen her get home around 3 or 4 a.m., I still had not slept. I took his number and texted him, pretending to be a random person, and tried to get him to admit to doing anything with her, which he did not admit to anything. The next morning, she called me and started telling me she was mad that I had sent him all the messages. And the second I told her what I knew, the tables had turned, and she tried being defensive. She told me there were a bunch of the managers there, and it wasn't just him and her, and they didn't do anything. We were still a few days from coming home, so I could not do anything about it anyway. So I let it go, thinking it was a one-time thing and nothing more came of it. Of course, this led to lots of fights, and I got very mad. But I am ex-military, so I have restraint and would never hurt her. However, she told me that he was scared of me because of my past. When I got home, we had talked a little and tried getting over it. But, of course, her story had all kinds of holes in it. On the 6th, I was at work and not able to focus, of course. So I was getting upset and wanted to prove to her that I knew more than she would be willing to admit. So, I went at lunchtime to try to get the receipts from Chili's because she said she didn't get food there. But I knew she picked up the food, so I just assumed he ordered it, and I wanted to see that it was for only 2 people rather than a bunch of people. And of course, when I asked for the names of the others at the party, she did not say anything. She said she didn't trust me to not confront them, and that is fair enough, but I still knew she was lying. So, on my drive up to Chili's, I changed my mind and decided it would be better to just go and see her at work and ask her to go to lunch with me so we could talk more. When getting to her store, I did not see her car in the parking lot, and at first thought she just went out for food herself, but then realized that he did not live far from there. So I decided to drive to where I saw on her location on New Year's Eve. And sure enough, when I got there, her car was in his driveway. I tried calling and texting her, and of course, she ignored me. So I took off my ring and put it on the hood of her car, sent her a picture, and told her she could give it to him. That seemed to get her attention, and she started texting but would not call. I told her to video chat me right that second if there was nothing going on. And of course, she didn't. Later that night, she said she just wanted to take him coffee and smooth things over because she still had to work with him and she felt bad for what I said to him and for me trying to trick him. Needless to say, she never came into the bed that night and waited for me to leave the next morning to change and get her shower. She slept on the couch and told me she was just too tired to even get up, even though I woke her up 3 different times before and after putting the girls to bed, and then one more time when I was going to bed. The ironic part of the story, when I was at the house, I saw his cat. Yes, a single young guy has a cat, sitting in the window, which I am allergic to. So later the next day when I got home, I was in the closet getting my clothes for a shower and started sneezing and my allergies started acting up. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then as I was walking out, I saw her laundry basket and put it together. I pulled out her pants from in the basket, and there was a bunch of cat hair on the inside of the legs, as if he ripped them off her and just tossed them on the floor. Then I started looking at her shirt, also with cat hair, and then on the back, there was what most men would know as a semen stain. So I took the shirt and told her what I found, and her underwear too, and told her I was going to have it tested, but still haven't. Even though I still have the shirt to this day. I know she has seen him on and off since this has happened. I have seen some of her messages to him and heard some of the conversations that she had with him or her family. Things she has said about me that hurt like hell. I know what I need to do. I have already started the paperwork and stuff with a lawyer. And I am so alone. I know when she goes to his house to hook up. Just yesterday, she was there again, and then she comes home and pretends like nothing happened. I know my oldest daughter can sense something is off. I gave her about 5 months of trying to convince her to stop and come home and keep the family together. Heck, I even gave her the option of being a hot wife and hooking up with him, but just asked that she be honest with me. But she still to this day thinks her relationship with him is a secret. But I know more than she has any idea about. I am tired. I am lonely. I have already essentially started acting as a single parent with my daughters. I will be honest. I had some very twisted and angry thoughts at times. Stuff I want to do to him, or maybe tell her boss about their affair after the divorce is finalized. I don't know. I don't really even know what to expect from posting here. I guess I just wanted to get it off my chest. If any of you want more details, feel free to ask. I just wanted to vent, and honestly, any advice or comments could probably help me out a lot. I am currently in the mindset that because of her, I don't trust people anymore. Because of him, I have extreme desires of rage and things I want to do. But of course, I will not act on them, as my girls need me. And to be honest, they are the only 2 people in this world that have kept me grounded this long.